What's good, guys? My name is Nicole the Alchemist, and as promised, I did say that I would be uploading part 2 to my solo trip to Kenya. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually back in the UK. I've been back for a couple of months, and in that first part my energy was quite low, and you might be thinking, why is her energy so low? And you see my rant and I'm very, animated, but around that time I actually had just lost my dad about a month before, so I think that's why my energy was a bit low or whatever. But I wanted to make sure that I came back with part 2 to my Kenya series, because as I said in my previous video, I've been to Kenya before. I love Kenya, and I really want to make sure that I share my experience in the best light possible. And at the end of this video, or maybe I'll do it in a separate video, I will definitely give some top tips for traveling in Kenya, things you need to know, yeah, things like that. So without further ado, let's get into part 2. So as I mentioned, at that time I was staying in a place called Machakos. I spent the first 2 weeks in a place called Nairobi. I already put all the clips and bits about, some of the things that I was up to while I was there. I do have some notes, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at, just to make sure that I say every single thing that I've done. So one of the first things I did is, of course, move into an Airbnb. Now, the first Airbnb I moved into, guys, if you saw the size of the roaches that I was dealing with, I literally had to leave so quickly. I think I stayed in that first apartment for like 3 days. I think it was about 3 days. Like, when the cockroach is so loud that you can be in silence and you can hear footsteps, like there's a grown man walking in my apartment, like that is literally what I was going through. But luckily I was able to find another 1-bedroom apartment in the middle of town in Machakos, which was perfect. I had a person that came and cleaned the apartment each week. She was also able to do my washing and laundry. So I definitely was living a good little life. Now, of course, if you're someone who likes like luxury, then maybe this video isn't for you in terms of like Airbnb stuff. But for me, I'm a very basic person. Like, as long as I've got a hot shower, Wi-Fi, a comfortable bed, and I'm in a safe environment and location, I don't really care how it looks, as long as I have what I need, basically. So settled into my Airbnb, which was really great. The other thing that I did, of course, I have friends. I had volunteered in that particular part of Kenya before. So I had a lot of friends, I had a lot of community around me, which I needed because, as I mentioned, I had just lost my dad. Literally a day before flying to Kenya, I lost my dad. So I was also grieving and going through a lot of stuff, but so I wasn't really planning to like travel everywhere and do everything, because I honestly just didn't have the energy or the capacity to do that. But I still ended up doing some really cool and amazing things. So the first thing I did was buck up with my friend, my good sister. If you're watching this, I love you, Maggie. I met up with Maggie. She is one of a trio of amazingly beautiful women who are leading an exceptional organization called Youth for Sustainable Development, of which I am now an official board member. So I'll most probably do another video talking all about the kind of NGO work and things that I'm involved in, to see if there's any way you guys could get involved as well. Yeah, so I would spend a lot of my days going down to their office, which again wasn't far from where I was based. We also took an amazing day trip out to this place called Kajiado, where we visited a girls' rescue centre. Now, these girls are fleeing child marriage. Some of them are mothers. What was so amazing about this particular organisation was just the hope that they give to these young girls. A lot of people think if you get pregnant at a very young age, your life is over, but this school really believes in education, in second chances, and helping these young ladies to become the best version of themselves. So we had an excellent time going down there, meeting the staff, meeting the girls. Of course, we shared with them some sanitary towels and anything that we felt could support them and their children. But yeah, it was an amazing day. an amazing day with such incredibly inspiring people. And again, if I can find any information for you to kind of look more into that project, if you're interested in that sort of thing, I'll pop it in the description box below. But again, if you have any questions, just drop a comment and I'll try my best to get back to you. Other things that I did in Machakos, of course, it was around Easter. So Machakos is known, they have like a massive rugby stadium, and so around Easter is usually when they have like this massive rugby tournament, which is also like a festival and an excuse for everyone to just drink and dance and just let their hair down and just enjoy the holiday. And that is just what I did. I went to, I think it was over 3 days, but I only did 2 because by day 3 I was like, okay, I think I've drank enough alcohol now. But it was really nice. They had like a massive stage, DJs, dancers. I was dancing, getting drunk, of course, with a lot of my friends. So I just had an amazing time. Like Machakos generally is just such a nice town. Like I just love Machakos, and I love you guys so much if you're watching this. Like I honestly love you guys so much, and thank you so much for supporting me through one of the darkest times of my life. It might not have seen it on the might not have seemed that way on the outside, but honestly it was one of my darkest periods. So I'm really thankful for you guys just supporting me and just showing me and giving me the best time that I could have possibly had. So Easter weekend was lit, and yeah, it was fun. Another thing that I did as well is, of course, one of the biggest things that I really wanted to do this time going to Kenya was visit the coast. My amazing friend Maggie, it was her birthday, so we decided to take, I think we went for about 4 or 5 days. I can't remember the exact amount of days, but it was like about 4 or 5 days. We went down to coast. We first went to a place called Watamu. It took us forever to get there, I won't lie. But once we arrived, I believe we were staying on a beach called Lua Beach. I'm telling you, once we arrived, it was worth every hour that I sat on the train, to the bus, to the tuk-tuk. It was worth it. The views were just beautiful. The hotel itself was literally on the beach, so we was looking for like the front door. I was thinking, okay, where's the front door? No, the front door, there is no front door. You walk onto the beach, and then as you can see, it was beautiful. It was just absolutely beautiful. We spent a good 2 days there. It was my friend's birthday, as I mentioned, so they made that day extra special for her. And we just danced, we laughed, we drank, and we just really enjoyed the views. And it was just so nice to just kind of have that breakaway, because she works a lot, so that was also kind of, you know, her vacation as well. So it was really nice to go to Watamu. We spent a couple of days there, and then we headed to a place called Bamburi. So we stayed in a place called Bamburi. I hope I'm saying it right. We got an Airbnb. Again, we got a nice little hookup with one of our friend's brothers, and we just had an amazing time. That's when really the partying and going out started for us. If you're watching this, you know. But we had such an amazing time, and we went to a place called Chachoma, which is like this outdoor like restaurant where you can literally pick whatever cut of meat you want. So let's say you've decided on beef. You literally would look at the beef menu and you can decide on what part of the cow. Yeah, beef is a cow. Duh. But you can literally pick if you want the ribs, if you want the thigh or whatever. So the food was, and of course it's right on the beach, Bamburi Beach. So we decided, we didn't plan anything, but we just decided, okay, let's go on a boat trip. So the boat trip was so good. Oh my God. It was like, you know when you have that moment, you're like, am I actually swimming right now in the Indian Ocean with fishes? So that is what we did. We set sail on a boat, and then we stopped off at this kind of docking port bit, and then we were able to just like jump into the ocean, swim with fishes. Of course, the people that were guiding us were very knowledgeable. They're from Bamburi. They are fishers. Like one of their men went down like under the boat, fed the fishes. They had like this, you'll be able to see it, but there's like this window in a boat and you can see all the fishes coming, like zebra fishes. I did see a couple Finding Nemo fishes. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, that was really nice. And we just ate and we just drank and just took in the moonlight. I think it was like a full moon that day or a day after the full moon, so the moon was just bright, and it was a very magical experience. So if you're ever in Mombasa, I definitely would advise, you know, booking Bamburi as a location. It was just really, really nice. It was so beautiful, and just I really loved it. And on a final note, of course, there was a lot of other things I did. Obviously, I went to a few dinners with my friends. We were doing like karaoke nights. I don't think I have any clips for this, but we were doing karaoke nights, and just taking my time to just be, you know. I think, as I mentioned in part 1, you know, the main reason why I booked this trip was for a break. I was burnt out. I had just left my job. There was just so much going on, and then literally a day before I left, my dad dies. So that was just like traumatic in itself. So this trip for me genuinely was just about healing, taking a breather, taking a break, being around some of the most loving, caring, inspiring, just everything, just people that I love dearly, that, you know, I would say that we're beyond friends, like we're family. And so even towards my last day, like we went out, we went to this kind of viewpoint in Machakos where you can just overlook like the little kind of lake and like the view, and it was just, I just love my friends. I honestly love my friends so much. And if you are watching this, I love you guys so much. But for those of you who have never been to Kenya, I honestly cannot recommend it enough. It is so amazing, whether you're going for a solo travel, a family vacation, you're gonna have the best time, because there is literally something for everyone. If you're into beaches and just want that kind of tropical feel, go to the coast. If you want a city feel, stay in Nairobi. If you want to do hiking or see viewpoints, you could go to places like Nanyuki. Do you know what I mean? You can go and see like Mount Kenya, and they just have like, there's literally something there for everyone. And not only that, Kenyans are just bloody lovely people. I love you, Kenyans. And yeah, so that is basically my 2.5 month trip summed up in 2 videos with just a few clips, because I honestly just couldn't find the time to really vlog. As I said, my mental health, everything just wasn't the best, but I did try my best to capture as many key moments as possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions about Kenya, drop them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to reply back to all of you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.